wins it, and other people sort of, jump in and take him. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Prolific,
I mean,
prolific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing.
We are live people.
Are we now? Yeah.
Is it? It's so clearly using my phone. I never remember to get an audio setup going before this video. I could just as easily take an extra 10 minutes to figure out how to get audio on my computer into this video, into the stream.
What have you been doing the last 10 minutes, Antoine?
The last 10 minutes?
What have you been doing?
Looking at 1986 box office releases.
Yes.
Why is that? See, we're segueing into the show.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because we saw a movie the other night. Our buddy John, friend of the show, also member of the show, who couldn't make it tonight, had people over for a bad movie night. And he showed us a 1986 classic. And what movie was that, you might ask? Was it Top Gun? No. I don't know if people can consider that a bad movie. Was it Karate Kid Part 2? Was it, I'm looking at a list over here, was it Spies Like Us? Was it Psycho 3? No, it was none of those movies. I'll show you what movie it was.
Across the sea of stars lies another world, a world almost exactly like ours. This is where he lives. He's 27 years old, single but searching. Favorite sports, windsurfing and Aikido. Favorite pastimes, cigars and sex. He has everything except fulfillment. And then one night, it happens.
Hey, good buddy, are you home?
He has a very sudden midlife crisis. He lands in Cleveland.
You do know why you were sent to me?
Listen to me, small visitor. I can explain how you got here.
Maybe you're here for some greater purpose, some cosmic cause.
Here, he's forced to reassess his career goals.
You went to med school?
To explore new relationships. To redefine his self-image.
I'm sorry, we don't allow pets on the premises.
To adjust to a changing lifestyle.
Pull it out!
Until he discovers just who he really is.
Oh, no.
A duck in big trouble.
That's a duck, man.
Howard the Duck, trapped in a world he never made. Coming from George Lucas, a Willard Hike film, a Gloria Katz production.
That's right. Howard the Duck, a movie I had never seen until just recently, though I have seen that cover art for years, right? It was always something I was like, as I was looking at random movies, it was on the list somewhere. What is this movie? Didn't look like anything. From George Lucas. We got to throw his name on there right at the end. But yeah, we watched this movie, and I think we're just gonna sort of debrief. We're gonna sort of just give our thoughts, kind of walk through what happened, because it is quite a movie. It came out in 1986, based on a Marvel Comics character, Howard the Duck.
Amazing.
Produced by George Lucas. Directed by Huck. What's his name? Wait, I lost it. Willard Huck. Starring Leah Thompson of Caroline in the City fame.
Mm-hmm. That's how I remember her.
Jeffrey Jones.
She's alive still.
Tim Robbins.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it was a flop. It was a commercial failure when it dropped. I think the look of the duck was off-putting to people. The story was crass and confusing. And it had some competition that year. Like I said, Top Gun came out that year. Fly the Navigator, Crocodile Dundee, Aliens, The Color Purple, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like it was a tough year. It's a tough year for a duck. But what did you guys think? Let's just start from general thoughts on the movie. Well, actually, before I get that, Tandy, you are pretty familiar with this movie.
Yeah.
Why don't you share your history
with how was it? You talking like I worked key grip or something. I had a small role. No, I was merely a teenage kid with cable at home, and I think it was on HBO or one of the movie channels, because I don't believe we went to the theater to see that, because I also remember seeing it over and over, as was very popular then, because you watched the movie every time it came on. Yeah, so I'd seen Howard several times, and much like, many things in life, bologna sandwiches used to be good. Now you can't get that at a sandwich shop, right? Tastes change, things change. It just doesn't make sense, and that's exactly how I feel, or how I felt watching the movie the other night. Like, what was this? what was I doing as a teen? What's this?
What was this indeed?
Oh, sir.
So when you came back to it, what stood out to you?
Oh man, just how bad it was. I don't think I was able to, because everything looked like, well, a lot of things in films looked like that back then. The punk rock. You had the punk rock type character. Hey man, those city scenes. Hey man, where you going? All of that stuff was that very cookie cutter for what was going on at the time. So it didn't seem unusual to me.
Did they all look like they came straight out of theater college? like they just got off a Broadway set?
No, I don't think anybody was acting as hard as everybody in Howard the Duck was acting. but it's just, it felt, at that time, it felt familiar. There was nothing unusual about it other than there's a person in a duck costume. That's the main character. And I think that was our attraction.
Okay. Was it a movie that all your friends were familiar with too, that you sort of talked about? And do you remember that?
I don't recall that being like a big thing, but I just remember that, we watched, my brother and I watched it, and so people knew about it, but it wasn't like, oh man, we didn't go to school and do Howard the Duck impressions, or, anything.
I hope that.
Related to that. I remember Howard being a little mannish. I remember that. Trying to get his swerve on. It was, I don't think I got the sexualization, because there was so much of that in like movies. When you think of Porky's,
Sexy Time.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. Some woman, unfortunately, always had a top off. There's always some boobs in an 80s movie. And I guess movies in general, but yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like a movie, I feel like clearly a movie like Porky's just simply couldn't work in today. But like, yeah, there were movies that were just like that, like creepy boys or dudes trying to see topless chicks, and that was like the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
All the way up to like the last movie I can remember that was sort of like that was American Pie. But I feel like that time has passed. Like I haven't seen or heard of a movie like that since. Have you?
Yeah. Not just the gratuitous boob flashing that was done in the 80s. Not like that. It comes to mind.
Yeah, I have to assume it's because of the widespread availability of the internet. Right? Like once people could just type in a boob and there it is, they're not going to go see a whole movie waiting for it.
Yeah.
Right? So all these writers who were making these movies, I don't know what they go do now.
Well, they don't have to put it in there, because I guess that would be the thing to keep people interested in the movie. But or at some point, you heard that there was gonna be a boob, I guess, and
You
so
heard
you're
it.
like, I'm gonna go see that, and it's gonna that scene is gonna come up, and maybe
Exactly.
you sit through the movie waiting for it. I
Mhm.
guess I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You guess. Luckily, if you
guess.
saw this movie, you saw it right at the beginning. It was on Duck. It was on a duck when you saw a pair of boobies, but they were there right at the beginning of the movie. And I'm pretty sure most people back then when they saw that, they're like, oh man, if they're coming out the gate with this, there's gonna be boobs all over this thing. Those are the beginner boobs, and then we're gonna go straight into human world and see all types of nope.
Nope.
Just duck boobs.
Duck boobs. That was crazy. You had Playduck. He's looking at pornographic images of a naked duck, and then you have an actual live duck woman in a tub, topless. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Somebody was like in a duck suit in a tub. Like that's they got the role.
You heard in the previews, like, he loves, he likes cigars, a keto, something in sex. What? Why was it necessary to endow that duck with that?
I learned more about him in that trailer than I did from the movie.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like information that we just didn't need. I don't know. I guess it's sort of like to be like a, hey, look, he's just like you kind of thing. Like, he likes all the things you like. It's like,
yeah, cigars, a keto.
Yeah, a keto.
27 years old.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Yeah, but definitely that same 80s aesthetic. So I didn't know I was watching a failure. I just thought I was watching some other weird 80s movie.
That is also true.
Yeah,
that is also true.
Yeah.
What about you, Amici?
I had seen this movie in the early 90s. So yeah, I was like youngish, probably, early teens probably. But yeah, like now I hardly remembered anything. Like going back into it, like to watch again, sort of all faded, but I did remember the song at the end, because it's How the Duck repeated. Sure, got it. Difficult to forget. But yeah, like watching it again, I was like, what was this? Like, it was just the product of its time, I guess.
What did anything stand out to you about it?
It just seemed like the movie could have been about 30 minutes long instead of an hour and a half. We get to the place where pretty much where the final battle is going to happen, and then we just leave for no reason and just go do a bunch of other stuff while they, I don't know, clean up so we can destroy it again. It was.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll go through the story again because a lot of stuff happened. But before I do that, I know we're 13 minutes. This is Can't Tell Nothing Show, everybody. In case you didn't realize by now, Can't Tell Nothing Show. Antoine, Amici, Tandy, those are us. John is also a member. Who's not here today, but we make Can't Tell Nothing improv group out of Houston, Texas. We use these discussions to fuel improv scenes if we feel so inspired. So we may hop into a scene and do some improv right in front of you, make it up, and then hop back to the discussion. What, Tandy? Is that not it?
Yeah, that's perfect. I got Howard the Duck on the brain. I'm just laughing in my mind and obviously out loud.
Yeah, so for me, going into this brand new, although I have seen 80s movies of this ilk, like I'm familiar with the aesthetic, but it still is very weird to see how people were building movies back then. And this movie in particular, I was confused for probably the first 45 minutes. I don't know. I like until the Ferris Bueller dude walks in. I forget his name. Is it Jeffrey Jones? Yeah, Jeffrey Jones. until Jeffrey Jones walked in and like explained what was actually happening. I was very confused as to why anything was happening at all. So this movie was a mess. The acting was a mess, except for Jeffrey Jones. He was probably the only redeeming actor in this whole movie, and they gave him a freaking tough role. But Leah Thompson, I don't know what she was doing, just a Leah Thompson type thing. The duck, like it's hard. Sure, you're a little dude in the duck costume, and another dude is voicing you, but wasn't doing it for me. Was not being a charismatic protagonist for me. I'm sorry. He just seemed kind of gross. He also looked gross. And the script.
Another thing about like the size of the duck, like really, the duck could be any size you want it to be, right?
Yes.
But we have to like make him small so he's like not threatening, I guess. But what if he came to our world and he's like 8 feet tall as a duck?
Yeah,
that's a completely different movie.
That is true. He is not the size of a standard duck. He is not the size of a normal person. He is somewhere in the middle for no reason whatsoever. That's just
8 foot Howard the Duck. Yeah, he was too angry to be that tall.
I mean, I guess if we're going by the canon, by the source material, the character he is based on is about that tall. Sure. Okay. For those who don't know, like I said, this is a Marvel character. There were comics. Of this bird. Let me see if I can share a little image search. There were comics based on Howard, who, from my research, started off as a sort of throwaway character in a comic and then kind of became his own thing.
Eat my glove. Oh, baby.
You look like Donald Duck.
Too much. I understand the problem. Yeah, especially
when Disney had a problem. Yeah,
when he's wearing that blue. Oh, come on, that's Donald right there. They were really pushing it. They should have got some cease and desist orders. Some of that. It looks like Angry Donald, and now I'm wondering if I saw some Howard the Duck and thought it was Donald back then. Was I duped into thinking? Because Donald didn't he have a comic book? Maybe not in America, but I know in other countries.
Yeah, probably.
They had there was some comics. So what is it? I'm just so angry that he has not angry. You can make anything you want to make, but why is he just washed up and angry? But I guess maybe a lot of Marvel characters are. But he's a duck. What's he in his duck world? What's he so angry about? I can understand him.
You heard the trailer. He doesn't have fulfillment. He has everything but fulfillment, I think was the word they used. Holy crap. But yeah, so let's hop into it. So this movie opens up. You see this like in a trailer, you see this duck coming home, apparently tired from his day. They do a little bit of world building to show that there are other ducks, and this is like a duck world sort of thing. It's even called Duck World. And he sits down in his lounger, opens up a Playduck. I guess it's about to settle in for his evening, and then out of nowhere, for no seeming reason whatsoever, he gets sucked out, lounger and all, through the walls of his apartment into space, through space for a good 2 minutes, and then it's thrown into Cleveland, Ohio, on Human World. And once he gets there, it goes nuts because there's like gangs and bikers and people being assaulted, and he's just like running around between it, bouncing around, getting thrown around. He ends up hiding in a trash can. Leah Thompson, who is a rocker chick, finishes the show, is leaving her through an alley, starts to get assaulted by these Broadway gangsters. and he hops out and does Quack-Fu on them, is I believe what it's called, and takes them all out. Pause.
The karate was pitiful. I'm sorry, but there's no action. If there was action in the movie, but this was not it. This is not the action. If somebody said this is an action, an action feature film, this was not. That first part wasn't it. It happened later. But
what was wrong with the action?
No, the Quack-Fu. It was
Wait, what did the trailer say? He is it Aikido or something?
The trailer said Aikido.
So then, why is it doing Quack-Fu?
The movie called it Quack-Fu.
No wonder it was so bad. It was doing the wrong thing.
He wasn't even doing what he was trained to do.
We cut to a karate class. Excuse me, Master Antoine. Listen, I've been coming here for 3 weeks. When am I going to be able to get my first belt, man? You're supposed to be teaching.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
I know you've been saying that, and I have a cousin that's taking karate from another master across town. He's already set for his belts. I mean, he already knows moves. All I'm doing over here is watering your plants and washing your car.
Yeah, all of that factors in. All of that factors in, Dandy. You see, I don't teach you how to attack a human being, an assailant. I don't teach you how to karate chop someone in the neck. I teach you how to approach the world. These are new lenses to view anything you do. It can be used to defend yourself. It can be used to water my plant. It can be used to wash my car. It could be used to save someone's life. All of this is important. All of it is united. Do you see?
How am I gonna save somebody's life with the skill of going up the street to the pizza joint on the corner and picking up your food order and bringing it back here to the dojo, man? Come on. How's that gonna help me save somebody's life?
Is that what you want to do? What you've learned here? Save lives?
Well, you just said that. I mean, yeah, save lives, learn some moves. I want to be able to protect myself. I want to be able to know that if something happens, I have my body is a weapon.
Tandy, I'm glad you said that. I've been teaching this class for 3 weeks, waiting for somebody to speak up, to answer the call, and you just did it. Come with me to the back room.
Oh, that's it. I just had to complain. Okay.
All right. You see this? Look around you. Look around you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Quack-Fu. This is a forbidden art.
What?
Completely illegal if used incorrectly. But in the right hands, a powerful weapon that can save lives. If you look at these tapestries here, you'll see the different moves, all done by ducks.
What about ducks? Yeah, man,
all done by ducks. That's where the skill set was gleaned from. Masters of the art studied ducks in their natural environment and found a way to unite that with a human element to form Quack-Fu, and realized this was the ultimate martial art.
Wow.
This is what you'll be learning. This is what you use to save lives.
Good.
You'll also right here. You'll also have to wear this duck bill on your face the whole time.
Just
that way, no one will know who you are.
It's a little unusual, man, but I'm ready. I'm ready, Master. I want to learn this art. I want to.
And so we cut into a montage where Tandy is doing different sorts of flapping motions, different duck walks. She's like, quanking like an amateur at first, but then gains more confidence with her quack and starts to sound just like a duck. And she starts breaking boards, and she starts running on water and swimming like a professional, like she can dive deeper than any human you've ever seen. Tandy.
Yes, master.
You're ready. If you could just cut that down just a little bit. You're ready. I can't teach you anything, but the city needs you.
Yes, master.
So I want you to go out there. Yeah, go out there, be a Quack-Fu master. Let people know that Quack-Fu is the way of the future. It's the way to save lives.
One of the things we haven't gone over is you said that it's illegal if it's used incorrectly. We never talked about how it can be used incorrectly.
Well, you're not going to use it incorrectly, right? You're going to follow all the tapestries, everything that we taught. You're not going to do anything that we didn't cover, are you?
I don't plan to, but I just
you haven't been doing any sort of side study, any sort of independent learning, right? You haven't done that?
I mean, I did look up a couple of things about
Quack-Fu. Quack-Fu is like a dark pond on the surface, calm and serene. But when you dive into the depths, you can get lost.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep it right here. You're right. I won't. I'll just take what you taught me and I'll into the city.
And all she goes into the city, kind of walking along, duckbill in her jacket pocket, waiting for anyone who might need her help. And suddenly she hears a young rocker man being assaulted in a back alley.
Hey, give me that back. Give me that back.
No. You give me your wallet, or I'll slap you.
Quack, 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 quack.
The hell was that?
I
Is that a bird?
Take this, you feathered fiend.
Wait, who's feathered? Am I feathered?
Yeah,
or is this person feathered? Is that a duck face?
That's what you're supposed to say when you're attacking your opponent. I've never really attacked a human before. Take this, you skinned fiend.
She hits him with some sort of winged hand and then pecks him in the eye. What the heck, you freak! You freak! Runs off through the alley.
Get out of here! Are you okay there?
Yeah, thank you. You saved me. The guy was trying to steal my wallet.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. When you take your wallet and you go home to safety, I'm out here patrolling the streets, keeping everybody safe with my Quack-Fu. Have you ever heard of it?
Quack-Fu? Yeah, I thought that was illegal.
Help! Anyone!
Someone else's
called help. I gotta go.
Help! Okay. My baby! She's stuck in a tree.
Oh wow! Let me try to climb a little bit.
Something?
I'm gonna try something. I can't quite. Oh, my wings won't let me grip, and my feet are webbed.
What sort of freak are you? My baby needs help.
Do you think your baby can fall down on their own? I can certainly help catch
fall
them.
Down? No, my baby. I don't want my baby to fall. I want someone to save my baby.
I can't use my human powers. You don't understand. I'm bound by Quack-Fu to use Quack-Fu to save people. If I use my own human limbs in their form, then who am I? I'm not really that helpful.
Okay, it sounds like you're having some sort of existential crisis right now. My baby's and scene.
Suck me through some walls. Maybe that's it. As soon as you have an existential crisis, if you're okay with the status quo, you get to stay in your world. But as soon as you're like, oh, this is not working, you're out.